Hello everyone, and welcome back to Signs and Wonders Tarot. And yes, it's been a while. I want every day to come on and do readings. The energy is so weird, it hasn't been possible. I was actually going to do a reading about that and the energy today, but something grabbed me, and that is the situation in Ireland. It's been on my watch list, my big long list of things to read on, but it really is escalating. Dublin in flames. I'm seeing newspaper headlines all over the place, and without asking, I happened to stumble, thanks to the algorithm, over an interview with Graham Linehan. He was on a podcast, and of course he's the creator of Father Ted, and he got cancelled. Father Ted, one of my favorite things ever, and he got cancelled for his views on trans things and whatever things. Has been through hell in his own personal world as a result of being cancelled. And he says that Ireland is collapsing, that radical Islam is taking over, and he cites the example of Galway, where the most popular boy's name now, baby boy's name, is Muhammad. And he said the government is woke, the media is woke, and Ireland is basically being overrun. And of course people are out protesting. The protests are very volatile. People are very upset, reading the comments in newspaper articles and on YouTube and wherever Irish people do feel like their identity is at stake. And for me personally, this hits hard. I am of Irish extraction, and I have lived in Ireland for a considerable period, a long time ago now, but it's still very close to my heart. So we're going to have a look. We're going to do a 5-year reading for Ireland, like I've done for Canada and the UK. Ireland has jumped the queue, and we're going to see what's going on and how bad things are, how bad things might get, or whether there is any hope for the Irish people. Currently, of course, government is a coalition government. The two main sort of establishment parties are sharing power. Micheál Martin and Simon Harris taking turns as Taoiseach, waiting in the wings Sinn Féin, Mary Lou MacDonald, and party that was once the Irish Party for the Irish is now the Open Welcome Do Join Us party, which is quite strange, but obviously if you want to get into power, that's the way to go. Shall we say allegedly? I don't usually say allegedly on this channel, but perhaps an allegedly needs to be thrown in here. I just need to do this, and then we'll get to the reading, just carefully. I'm feeling a lot of energy running through me, sort of anxiety, which is always a sign that something's going on. So we're going to do a 9-card reading. Government on the left. We're going to look back at the elections which put this coalition government into power. We're going to look at now, what's going on now, and we're going to look at where you are heading, the Irish are heading in the next 5 years. So take us out more or less to 2030. What's going on? Is there any reason for optimism, or is it very difficult times for Ireland? I was in Ireland during the collapse of the Celtic Tiger, lived through that. That was bad. This looks so much worse, because the whole identity seems to have been being undermined at the moment. That's our underlying energy. It's the Hanged Man, and it's in reverse. Powerless, being victimized, feeling powerless when it's in reverse. It's when it's upright. Sorry, I'm stumbling over my words. There's so much energy rushing through me. Card in the reverse means people are fed up with being sacrificed, with being victims, with having no agency, with a government that is making decisions, doing things that they don't feel represent them. A very clean and clear energy for me with the Hanged Man in reverse. The sense of enough. We are now going to take matters into our own hands. We're going to stop marching, protesting, doing whatever, and sick of being gaslit. The Hanged Man is a famous gaslighting card because it's Neptunian energy, and it's clear as mud. Usually when you're in Hanged Man energy and the card is upright, and people are now beginning to see agendas. They're beginning to see what is really going on, because you gain enlightenment when you're in Hanged Man energy. You can see that glow around this person's head, which is enlightenment, perspective, awakening, revelation, all those kinds of things. And that is what's going on. It's a big card coming out of some kind of almost collective delusion. And it might have something to do with the past and the power of, for instance, establishment, if the groupings like the Catholic Church, those kinds of things are possible in here. That's Age of Pisces, also the Hanged Man, end of the age of Pisces, going into the Age of Aquarius, the great astrological ages. And this is a big shift in identity and a big shift in power. And who has the power? So there's a lot in that Hanged Man card as our underlying energy. What are we dealing with right now? Situation, we're dealing with Knight of Cups, and it's in reverse. And that's an interesting energy, because Ireland traditionally was gave a great welcome to people who were repressed, disenfranchised, immigrants. Ireland, of course, a great source of immigrants that had to go and get sent out into the great world, the wider world, to fend for themselves. And so normally it would be an open-hearted welcome to anyone who was suffering, anyone who was oppressed, anyone who was a victim. But interesting, in this victim card, the Hanged Man in reverse, we're tired of it now. We're not on the side of people who are claiming victimhood of some sort or other. And this card, this Knight of Cups, which would have been the welcome, is now in reverse. The welcome gone cold, gone icy, and go away. We want our own cultural identity back. We want our country back to ourselves. We are not willing to be flooded with thousands and thousands of people who don't represent us, who don't relate to us, we don't relate to them. It's that kind of thing. It's very obvious. It's so far very, very obvious what's going on here in this reading. So let's go back to the past. We're not going too far back into the past, unless the cards seem to be taking me back into the past energetically. This is the for me, I stipulated this recent election. And it's interesting, on the government side, we have the King of Wands, which is Micheál Martin, the Leo, who is here. Here I am. Now I'm taking charge, pleased with himself, successful. We're going to fix everything. We powered through. Quite a lot of ego coming through. I don't know if behind the scenes with him there is a lot of ego. He looks sort of quite a mild character on the surface, but a lot of ego, a lot of I'm in charge now, I'm victorious, I'm going to sort things out, but facing away from the people, which is interesting. Here are the people. That energy is quite distinct to this energy, this Nine of Swords. The people who are living through a nightmare with this Nine of Swords. Tormented, divided, anxious, oppressed, financial problems, sleepless nights, worried about your identity, worried about your children, worried about the future, worried about who to believe, who to trust, where to put your faith. A way to put your faith, especially if you can't put your faith in the establishment institutions that you used to put your faith in, whether it's those two main parties who sort of swapped over every regularly, your turn, then my turn. Same energy that came through in the reading that I did on the UK. And the people thinking, can't trust them, can't trust the church, who can I trust? Very, very anxious, a super anxious energy, that Nine of Swords in reverse. For me, just people seeing no end of worry. And this is recent past, this is the start of this year. I'm doing this reading, if you catch it later, I'm doing this reading in October of 2025. We've come to the present, and this is the no longer the welcome mat, no longer the bleeding heart, no longer we're on the side of the oppressed. That has changed. That's the government now. and this is the people. Governments dropped the ball. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Absolutely. If they thought that if they were in it for the long haul, if they were going to see out their election term, good luck. With that Ace of Pentacles in reverse, have absolutely massively dropped the ball. People here are feeling like they're being beggared. Like they are being reduced to having to beg and plead for things that would have been theirs as of a matter of right previously. They're now being reduced to the same level as immigrants in their own country. In access to resources. Six of Pentacles is all about resources. And when you're in Six of Pentacles energy, you are reduced to charity status. You're hanging out for scraps, basically. I don't know what the state of the economy is. I don't watch Ireland that closely anymore. But that tells me that Ace of Pentacles, that the economy is in a good old mess. And that there aren't funds, and that this kind of ego and I'm in charge and I'll sort it and trust me energy is now, oh dear, and people are feeling that there's not enough to fund, I would imagine, the usual things: housing, education, healthcare, always the thorny topics election-wise. There's no person that's showing up here as a big noise. I know that Conor McGregor has been very outspoken about what's going on in Ireland, the MMA fighter, and was campaigning at some stage, was running for president, and is no longer doing that. His energy isn't showing up, except possibly in that Knight of Cups in reverse. And I say that he's a Cancerian, that's a water sign energy. That card could be him withdrawing from running for president with that Knight of Cups in reverse, and as a kind of bellwether for the general mood in the country. That Knight of Cups in reverse. He's been very inflammatory in the things that he has said, that Ireland is at the cusp of losing its Irishness, and he's been making those kinds of statements, and those kinds of statements seemingly are fueling the protests and the sentiment in the country. So I think that could be read as he as the face. Some people might not like that, so it's just a thought. It's not absolute. A face of this general sentiment of you are not welcome here anymore, and we have to actually do something to recover our identity, which is currently looking like it's being quite deliberately destroyed. Can't get over the level of ego in here. Kind of gloating energy compared with that energy and where we are now, or where you are now. So let's see what's going on. Coming energy, next 5 years, government side of things, people side of things. Well, there you go. I thought this card would show up in this reading, the Hierophant. It's Taurus energy. And you got a Taurus that's waiting in the wings, Mary Lou MacDonald, leader of Sinn Féin. And they're the party waiting in the wings, the opposition party at the moment. It's there. It's there. You've got very, very toxic energy on the government side of the thief. Stealing things, taking things. And I don't think that the government is literally stealing money or things like that. Oh yeah, you've had your scandals in the past, financial scandals with government figures, have you not? But the Seven of Swords there for me is maybe an election that feels like it's stolen. A lot of that going around. Energies popped up in my other readings, country readings so far on this latest iteration of this channel. Something stealing, something stolen, skullduggery that's going on. And in between this Hierophant, the Taurus in waiting energy, and the government is this Four of Swords, and it's in reverse. There might be some kind of scandal, someone that literally has to fall on their sword in government circles. There might be something like that, a kind of a mea culpa moment of shame and disgrace that is heading someone's way. With that Four of Swords. Four of Swords upright, you hide, you retire, you retreat. You have a big long think. It's ruined reputation. It's in reverse. It's conspicuously ruined and sort of still being in public and still being seen. I just get the sense that people are absolutely fed up with the government, that they view the government of the day going forward in these next 5 years as liars, cheats, thieves in the sense of stealing cultural identity, taking away from the Irish people who are already being beggared over here now, being robbed blind of something that is theirs. And it feels rather conspiratorial, that Seven of Swords. I just have to say, it might be the sense that people get. There might be some kind of expose, someone that is revealed to be not what they said they were, or being backed by people or something like that. It looks like there's a scandal coming, or at least heads are going to roll. I should imagine that there is going to be so much protest and so much disruption that at some stage this government fails, and waiting in the wings you've got your Taurus, the Hierophant. Card in reverse is sometimes read as waiting to be activated. That energy is waiting to be activated here. Hierophant. I'm not seeing, like I saw in the other readings that I've done so far, of a kind of kumbaya moment for Ireland. Not here. Of things being sorted out. It looks like things are going to get more volatile, and reputations are going to be lost, ruined, and whatever. And then, as I said, this is on the side of the people, or whatever you think of her. This is going to trump that. And it'd be interesting to see which way they swing when they actually are in power. Because according to this energy, it looks like Sinn Féin is on its way. And then what do? One of the meanings of the Hierophant is, of course, the royal family. And so you've got a divided Ireland. And, of course, Sinn Féin campaigns on the premise of a united Ireland. So there is that as well. These are the rebels. Hierophant upright is law and order, the establishment, playing by the rules, and in reverse the rebels. And the rebels are waiting in the wings to rule. That's your reading. Interesting to see what you have to say about it, and good luck. And I will see you again, hopefully quite soon.